Hi Hawk Nation. Today we're going to read pages 75 through 80 in Locomotion. While we read, please make sure that you're using your reader-writer notebook and you're creating charts for each of the poems and identifying figurative language, sensory language, and also creating a Get the Gist chart. Remember, a Get the Gist chart is our who, what on the left side, did, said, is. If you can put your finger on your Get the Gist chart in the poem, it's probably a detail. When we identify our Get the Gist, our main idea, it's what the poem was mainly about. Also, in many of these poems, I have had connections to the poem, to what Lonnie was writing. If you have a connection, please make sure you write it down. We would love to hear about it and expand on your interpretation or understanding of what's going on in Locomotion. Remember, this is a personal narrative. This is a fiction book. This is Lonnie's story told through poetry, his ups and downs. We've identified our exposition, rising action, the climax, falling action, and we're coming into the resolution of the story. So as we work, please make sure that you're writing this stuff down. Thanks. Lily's new mama's house. The number 52 bus takes a long time coming, and even though it's the first day of spring, it's still a little cold. So when the number 69 comes real fast, I think that's God. And when the heat's turned up real high inside the bus, and I ain't shivering no more, I think that's God too. And then I'm walking the blocks to Lily's new mama's house, and when I get there, I see Lily standing at the window, waving and grinning, and I think, there's God. Lily's new mama lives on a pretty block with trees and brownstone houses that all look alike. So if you don't know the address, you end up knocking on a stranger's door, even if you've been there a couple of times before. Now I know Lily's mama's house is the one with yellow curtains on the second floor, and most times with Lily in the window. We sit in the living room. It smells like lemon. And Lily says, that's what we clean the floor with. The floors are made of wood, and there's pretty rugs in different spots. Not a whole lot of furniture, but enough to find a nice place to sit. I don't lean back, 'cause Lily's new mama will give me a look. There's a chocolate chip cookie and 2 glasses of milk on the coffee table. I take one cookie and eat it real slow, even though I want to take a whole bunch at one time. Then I take a little sip of milk and make sure to set my glass back down on the coaster thing, 'cause I know Lily's new mama is watching me from the kitchen. There's bright sun coming in through the big windows, and the house is like this yellow gold color and warm. Even though Lily's new mama doesn't like me, I'm glad that my sister has such a nice place to sleep at night. And I'm glad she has a nice room to sit in and eat chocolate chip cookies and drink milk out of blue glasses that make you think of nights up on the roof in the summertime. God's in this room, I whisper to Lily. She looks at me a minute without saying anything. Then she smiles. God is everywhere, I say. And with the sun coming in the room that way, and my sister smiling so big, and the plate of cookies there, if you want them, just take one at a time and chew it slow. I feel him right there beside us. So I want you guys to write down why you think he is working so hard to impress Lily's new mama. To me, it's obvious, but he takes care to not sit all the way back, to eat his cookie real slow, to sip at his milk, not guzzle it down, and he makes sure to put it nice and neat back on the coaster thing. Why does he take such care? Why is he telling Lily that God is in the room? Why does that matter? Remember what we read before. Remember your inner conversations. Church. On Sundays, the preacher gives everyone a chance to repent their sins. Miss Edna makes me go to church. She wears a bright hat. I wear my suit. Babies dressed in lace. Girls my age, some pretty, some not so pretty. Old ladies and men nodding. Miss Edna every now and then throwing her hand in the air, saying, "Yes, Lord," and "Preach." I sneak a pen from my back pocket, bend down low like I dropped something. The chorus marches up behind the preacher, clapping and humming and getting ready to sing. I write the word hope on my hand. Why do you think he writes the word hope on his hand? Why is that significant? And look, he writes it in all caps. That is significant. Why? Why is he writing hope? Why does he need hope? Why does he have hope? What does he have to hope for? New Boy Poem 4. Takes the soccer ball around the schoolyard 8 times. His feet are magic. Why did he write a haiku this time? Why is he making comment about the new boy and his soccer skills? What do you think he's noticing about him? There's an evolution occurring. How is new boy becoming more prominent in Lonnie's life? Teacher of the Year. The news people from Channel 7 Eyewitness News came to our school. 'Cause guess what? Miss Marcus is the Teacher of the Year. Miss Marcus, smiling all proud and bright, brought them right into our classroom, and we all crowded around the cameras, pulling at the mics, making faces into the camera, getting into trouble. Me and Angel was standing together, and we heard the newsman talking to Miss Marcus about inner city and underserved, and Angel looked at me. "That's the nice way of saying poor," he said. "What poor person's daddy can afford to buy him $100 kicks?" He held up his foot to the camera, showing off his new sneaker. The newsman heard him. He put the mic in Angel's face and said, "Tell me about this man." "He don't live with us," Angel said, "but he comes every night to read me and my sister a book or watch some TV with us before we go to bed." Angel got quiet after that, pushed the mic away from his face. For a minute, the newsman just stood there. Then quick fast, he turned to me, asked, "What do you like about your teacher?" Someone behind me said, "Math and poetry." I shushed her. "Not math," I said, "just the poetry." "Well, why don't you read us something?" the newsman said. His hair looked like it was sprayed with the whole can of hairspray. It looked hard and shiny. Everybody ran to get their poetry books, saying, me, but the newsman kept looking at me. "No," he said, "I'd like to hear something from this gentleman." I looked at Miss Marcus, and she nodded. "Go on, Lonnie." So I read the poem about birth. Real slow, the way Miss Marcus said. We should read our poetry, so everybody could understand it. After I finished, nobody said anything for a long time. Then the newsman started grinning. Miss Marcus smiled, and the newsman just sort of shook his head, nodding and looking at me. Then Lamont said, "That poem's corny. It don't even rhyme." But Angel said, "I liked it." And some of the other kids said, "Me too." What do you think about that? Do you think that the kids in Lonnie's school, or even Lonnie, realize that they're poor and underserved? What do you think that means?